Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Kenshi, episode 93. So last episode, we had just fully sort of broke down the old base, and what I did off camera before I started recording was I added some signs in here for my bedrooms, my kitchens, armor and weaponsmithing. Clothing was already there. In fact, that one is a little off center. I'll just fix that. There, that's good enough. What else? We have I guess I don't really have a brewery sign. I can always add that in later. We've got the mechanical for research, so on and so forth. And what I was doing was having the homesteaders represented here, everyone here following Seto. Seto broke off from the group in the previous episode, but following Seto and... well, I guess Seto's already there. Following Seto should be fine, though. And I did promise a little bit of action, so once they get here, I'm going to have everyone reconvene, dump out their inventories, and then we'll start to go on more combat-oriented adventures. As promised. I've been juggling a lot of things all at once for quite some time now, so I would love to go back on the prowl and go hunting again. Alright, so here comes Plan and Beep. Beep is also a skeleton. He's trying to talk to... where are you running? Find and rescue? There's people to rescue around here? Alright. Let's see. Oh yeah, there would be, wouldn't there? The Shek are getting beat up by the bone dogs, I guess. And we are rescuing our allies. Oh, that's totally fair. Now, I did get a comment about, shouldn't I crush the remnants of the Holy Nation? Looks like Stubbs, you ain't moving. And yeah, I should. However, I can tell you, just from the way the gameplay mechanics work, it won't matter. The only things that matter is essentially the town overrides. What a town override is, I think I explained this before, but when certain towns, when you capture their leaders or kill their leaders, you end up triggering a town override, which means the town effectively changes ownership. So a perfect case of that would be Stack or Blister Hill or Bad Teeth, where a new owner moved in. As you can see, the Shek or the Flotsam Ninjas moved in. That is what a town override is. Certain towns are not set up to do town overrides. So that would be like all these little holy farms that are around that haven't changed ownership. That's because town override there isn't a town override, I guess is how I should explain it. And as a result, it doesn't really matter if I go and destroy that entire town. It's always going to be Holy Nation little farm, because it's not programmed to change ownership, or maybe it is programmed to change ownership and it bugged out. I'm not sure which. It doesn't really matter which, because I can't do anything about it either way, as far as I'm concerned. Silver Shade is now protecting allies. It might actually be a little annoying that I have all these neighborhood allies that keep picking fights with the Holy Nation farms, because, you know, as a net result, I'm going to constantly be drawn out of my own base to go protect them, which is a little weird. Alright, I made another copper storage box because copper is going to be in pretty tight supply. I have no idea why I'm picking fights with the river raptors, But what's cool about having river raptors picking fights with me, I guess, is the fact that I can set up a task to butcher them. I haven't killed one in a long time. What kind of food do they actually yield? Ugh, never mind. That's not going to be any helpful to me. All right, looking at the map, there is some stragglers. It's going to be a little annoying to identify who these stragglers are. I guess I can just click through. So all the homesteaders are here. Rhadamant and Hamlet went to the Holy Farm. I guess, worst case scenario, I could modify it to the game to force town overrides for certain towns that shouldn't be. Really, honestly, there should not be any Holy Nation anything, because their entire leadership structure has fallen. And as a net result, why would there be Holy Nation anything anymore? They're basically destroyed. But, you know, whatever. All right, so I found 2 of the stragglers, and the last one was Miu. All right, cool. There's a whole mess of people back at the hometown. Looks like they're acting as if I'm out of building materials, but that's not true. I'm just going to set everyone up that got here to do building. So we certainly have a lot more buildings. And surprisingly enough, I'm not classified as a city yet. Maybe I never get to be. I feel like I've added enough buildings to be city-like. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe you all know. Look at all these idlers. I'm not looking forward to having to prioritize all of the work priorities. But as you can see, all the trees that I wanted gone are gone now. That tree trick did work. It just needed a full load. So one of the questions I got was, why do I use these small wind generators when I can do big ones? It's because the big ones provide, yes, twice the wind output, but they're a lot larger and take up a lot more space. So yeah, aesthetically, these small wind generators aren't exactly the most attractive ever, but the simple fact of the matter is the large ones are just not as efficient as the small ones. So here's my gate watchtower. One more finishing touch. I put a little like police sheriff's badge right in the entranceway of my city to let everyone know that this is a place of laws. Strayed Paladin. Yeah, so this is the case of Holy Nation people that just don't have anywhere left to be, interestingly enough. And Rhadamant just really doesn't have any mercy. Oh, that's why I had all these river raptors. I'm in their their home turf. Now, Hobbs, if I recall correctly, was hauling the queen. Yeah, he was hauling the queen. Cool. I think what I'm going to do is put down a pole for it. I don't want her in a traditional cage. I could do a weird... Oh, that's a crate. What is it? Cannibal. It will be in cannibal. And maybe I'll have a spiked cage or something unique. I'll just put her on a prisoner pole. And I'll put her... somewhat maybe as a centerpiece. I know I didn't pay for that pole, but I think I could afford it. Alright, so let's put her in. And there she is. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. have her face forward. And yeah, definitely treating her like a little bit of a trophy. Okay, at this point, I believe that everybody should be back and home. So if I check my squads, I've got 18 out of 20 in my home group, because Beep and Silver were temporarily removed. We can put them back. There we go. And then what I'm going to start to do is to remove my home crew from engineering and removing their bag contents. Because I want them to be ready to go. Medical supplies. Rhadamant needs some. All set. Sadneil, you have a lot of cactuses. Man, these river raptors really aren't giving up. Not that I mind. I like the bashing. So cactuses. That would be here. Sadneil also needs meds and has some additional limbs, which go into my robotics storage over here. See, now I actually have a place for things. Makes it orderly, and let's remove engineering so he doesn't grab more stuff. I'm not going to worry about a splint kit. His meds aren't that high. Whoa! You, Burn, have a little bit of everything. Smorgasbord of materials. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing out of the city. The thing is, I feel like you all want me to get back into some action. So I'm trying to do that, and then I'll set up the city eventually. I'm not going to neglect that, of course, but I'm focusing on what I think is a higher priority, getting back to combat. All right, Burn's all set. Agnew should be pretty straightforward. Wow, look at all these old hauling twos. Just some building materials and iron plates. She's all set. Kang. Ooh, you have some alloy plates. I need, I guess, to store those alloy plates somewhere. And I'll set him up to haul to them, just for the meantime. And then I have fabrics. Guess that can go into clothing storage. And hemp. And I fully realize that I don't have food production yet. I don't have farms. I'll have to fit those in, but yeah, that's all stuff that I will get eventually. Ruka. I like how they're idling in this clothing shop. It actually allows me to put things away a little bit faster. Actually does not look... Really? They just keep getting back up. Hemp and... Okay, almost all put away. King, did you have a... Yeah, you did have a sleeping bag. Good. Okay, Ruka's all set. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn jobs off on everyone else, because they don't need jobs on still. Ron, job off. Yeah, some of these guys that have been here, been at the outpost a while, will have a lot of jobs. Okay, you're all set. Jane's. They pretty much all have the same sort of inventory, if you ask me. It's like 2 building materials, 2 iron plates. Pretty quick to put away. Seto. Seto's still the slowest. So she does have boots. Rain. Wow, Rain, you have a lot of plates. That's good. I am slightly bottlenecked by the lack of plates I have. Hommit, you have a lot of nonsense on you. And all the homesteaders will be tasked to continue to build. And then once I feel like I've built enough... Wow, still just a little outpost. Once I feel like I've built enough, I can go ahead and give them the jobs to keep this place running. So the first sort of adventure I'm going to go on isn't going to be all that difficult, mostly because there's a lot of Meto weapons and stuff like that that I have to do, or not have to do, but I really ought to do. But they're not that challenging for me anymore, given that I am much stronger than I once was. So the problem is, yeah, they're a bit of a pushover, but that doesn't mean they're not worth doing. Oops, what am I doing? I just need to get to it, you know? Silver Shade, jobs off. I also need to replenish ammo and stuff like that, and I'll do a quick overview of anyone that does not have enough ammo. Hobbs, you too. Almost done here. Mew. Boy, I would not want to have to move often. It is daunting. Stubbs. I also might have some additional long swords to swap over to my rangers. So let's make sure that they all have one. Yes, yes. Oh, they all already have one. All right, and last but not least, Crumble. All right. Now, Rhadamant can hold a lot of food. I don't even have oh yeah, I do have a food barrel. It's just a really odd place for one. I'll have Rhadamant fill up on food, and I'll do the same to Sadneil. Just people that can store the extra weight. And then follow Seto, and head east. It's a little interesting to be heading from a new location, because I'm used to being up in the Fog Islands. It does actually make adventuring a little bit easier being in a more central location. So Seto, you're moving at 21. Stubbs, what are you moving at? 23? Okay, yep. Seto is the slowest. And then we're left with a bunch of homesteaders. The trainers are obviously not trainers. They're just animals. My homesteaders... Well, let's see. What do I need to set up first? How's my robotics? While they're in transit, oh, this robotics is all set. I just need to move some of the limbs over. Who keeps targeting my raiders? Mew, you're fast enough. I'm not all that. I'm not all that sure what sort of random stuff will attack me. I'm not used to being here. All right, so let's head to Verge. I'm gonna take the South Pass. We'll pass into the Black Forest or the Black Desert briefly, which means, you know, melting limbs, etc., but it won't be that bad. Alright, so as for weapons, and I'm going to keep my weapon and armor smiths currently just engineering. Same with Wike maybe, and Doc. Is there tech for me to even research? I guess, sort of. If I wanted better battery capacity, which I don't really care for. Now, Gecko. Now that everyone else is in transit, where is Gecko? Gecko is going to start to work the work steel and all that stuff. So let's see, what do we need to do for that? We need to haul to the plates and then haul to steel. Then additionally, we're going to need to move our plate storage. So we'll put iron plates here and here. And she'll keep these refineries going. So she'll bring the ore. Hopefully there won't be any water pathing, or minimum amount of it. Yeah, we might need to bridge up a lot of stuff. She seems to be swimming a lot. A little bit of an oversight. Hopefully it won't play a huge role. Alright, so at least this drills... I'm trying to figure out their interaction spots. Because what it could do, although in some view cheating, is just spin these around and move them a little bit. Rather than have to fully rebuild them. Okay, she's interacting with the back again. Why are you mining ore? That doesn't seem to be a task I gave you, like, at all. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, as for the raiders, let's focus back on them. They are taking the South Pass. And they're moving nicely. So Bard is one of our farmers. We have to decide what kind of food we want here, right? That's a big sort of decision. Now at present, I had set up for, I guess, rice bowls. Where was our hydroponics? I don't even remember. Oh, we had hydroponic tables here. But these rice weed was for sake. So this here is unused. I think this will be our farming station. So that means that we need to... We'll be processing the grain here. Let's see. So we'll do grain storage next to it. So we'll put wheat straw here and here. Now, Bard, I'm going to have you look after those farm fields. Oh, and we already have a harvest going. And then haul to that stuff. Aramid will be the one to haul to the grain. And then the bread oven. Bark also will be a farmer. So of all the crops that we can grow here, not cactus, for stuff that we can eat. Not rice. So we could do vegetables. So we could do green fruit and wheat. I guess that would be our best bet. That's kind of boring for food. I could always do some hydroponics, but let's add some green fruit stuff, or vegetable farms here. And try to get the placement of the farms nice. All right, they might be floating, but I can always adjust that later on. And I'll pause the construction of one of them. Now, I was pretty sure I had some vegetables, but where would I have put them? It wouldn't be in here. General storage, maybe? Nope. Where are my veggies? Ah, Pengu. Pengu's got them. Alright, so storage for green fruit will be right there. Plan, you just have food. Okay. And then Pingu, I want you to put your cactus away. And I'm always forgetting where the cactuses are. And then it's just some copper. I'm not worried about that just yet. Alright, we're probably going to need more green fruit than we currently have. But that's a problem I'm not going to worry about just yet. Alright, Gecko, how's it going? Looks like the raiders here are in combat with some beak things. Cool. One question I had, sort of a burning question, was Tower of Abuse. Did my Ponk and Screamer get back there? I guess I'll go check. So we're pretty close to the Tower of Abuse. It's just over the horizon straight ahead. It's where Agnew came from. What are these? Who are these? Ah, some weak thralls. Yeah, we're in the right place. Oh, okay. Ouch. I'm going to have everyone hold up a second. Okay, that's not working. Everyone's patched back up. Stupid eyeball lasers got us direct hit. Nope. Should have passed through here at nighttime. All right, stupid little weak thralls. Just more weak thralls. A lot of them. And some regular thralls. Ooh. These little weak thralls did do a number on a few of us. Mostly on the people that are set to range. Alright, let's get inside. Rhadamant, would you be so kind as to Poke about. No, I don't really see Ponk or Screamer. Maybe they retired, realizing they weren't the toughest. But there is some skeleton repair beds. I don't know how they're being powered, but probably some infinite generator downstairs. But this gives an opportunity to repair away from home. I'll take it. Ah, no, King's all set. Ruka. I wonder if they count as regular beds. I've always had that thought. Maybe they don't. And looking at all these skeleton beds, it does remind me that skeleton beds is something I'm going to need to add in mass to my home in the rest barracks. I'll get around to that for sure. Where is Silvershade? Oh, you're stuck. This is not the adventure I was heading towards. This was just happened to be sort of on the way. And I don't even think I'm going to really give Hobbs or any of the rest of them time to heal back up. I'm just going to hit the road again. But since you can't repair on the road very easily, there you have it. Okay, so we are going to continue eastward. Wing wing, that means you. And yeah, it's possible that Screamer and Ponk are somewhere, but are you kidding me? More direct laser hits. I feel like these are targeted. They can't just be random. All right, let's hit south. Get out of this stupid laser field. I'm going to need to patch up again. Alright. Let's have everyone converge. Okay. Follow Seto. Get the hell out of the lasers from the sky zone. No bueno. That hurts. Alright, what needs to happen is Bark and the rest of them need to, or at least people with big bags and space to do it, they're going to need to attempt to buy some food. So I'm going to have Bark embark on a little trip to do just that. I don't know what we can buy in Bad Teeth, but I'll check that out first. Yeah, those lasers really took a chunk out of a lot of people. Like, all that damage was obviously laser damage, because it's so evenly distributed. And I guess I'm sort of curious to roll through Black Scratch again. If I could get to the Great Library, that'd be pretty cool. And they actually might have some farming stuff, too. There's... Oh, come on. There's a nice, I think, a farming vendor there. Are they talking about amputation? Probably. They keep getting lasered. I'll head to Brink first. I don't think there's anything in Brink, but I might as well check. I see you, lasers. I know you coming for me. Oh. Dodge. Rhadamant uses dodge. It's very effective. Alright, we're almost out of this burning hellhole. Except for now we have to go north. So I'm going to go east first and then north. I don't know my geography around here all that well. I did know, however, that this area is full of the hateful lasers. But I really couldn't tell you what one no Jesus what one zone is and how it's different from the others. As far as I'm concerned, it's more or less a factionless hellscape around here. As you travel eastward, that changes. You got some Reavers and the Skin Bandits and a bunch of other types of violent, tougher bandits. Not like Dust Bandits. Speaking of which, yep, they still have demands. That's cute. And obviously a bug. They've had demands for many, 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 many episodes now. Alright, so UC should not be... I did piss them off by aligning with the anti-slavers, but I don't think I pissed them off enough to actually be hostile. No, I haven't yet. So, farm shop. That is pretty much what we're looking for here. To fill up our farms. Why am I interacting with the shop guard? That confuses me a lot. That will get the green fruits all set. And rice weed. Wouldn't really hurt to overbuy. I can always use it for meals. Okay. Nice. And on our way. Black Dog HQ. That's actually not where I was intending to head, but it's a pit stop. I think I've already been there. Let's see. Faction Black Dogs. 0. Alright. Didn't know that. I don't think there's any reason for me to be there, though. There is, as far as I know, no real bounties. Are you Black Dogs? No, you're scavengers. The power of crossbows. Haven't interacted with scavengers before, but I'm going to call them the basket heads. Yeah, they didn't really have much. Okay. I feel a little bit bad about ambushing them, but they were hostile. Here's the Black Dog HQ. I'd have to pick my way in. Mostly because I just don't care. I'm going to go ahead and see if they won't attack me once I come... once I'm trespassing, they're like... They got mad. I'm probably not going to be able to sneak given my armor level. Bunch of bone dogs. I'm curious if there's any bounties to be had in here, but I think there are just... I don't think there are really anyone important in here. Okay, let's get going. It's a faction that I don't really need to mess with. Black Scratch, next. It's nice to be back on the road, isn't it? Ooh, Seto. Being already the slowest, I'm going to have you give your green fruit to Rain. We don't need to slow down our travel party anymore, I don't think. Long live the brother. Reavers. Hello, Reavers. You want to fight? I'll absolutely indulge. Reavers is a group that I probably should go mess with. They've got some pretty cool looking armor. Pretty unique looking armor. I don't know if it's cool. And then you all are run by tech hunters. so you're not going to be all that hostile to me. I think this is... Yep, this is the Great Library. I can make a stop there on my way home from where I'm headed. So where am I heading next? Northeast of Black Scratch, right around here, is my first stop for a Meito weapon. Pretty easy to obtain. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to obtain it nonetheless. Chung here, what I'm going to have you do is start work on electrical component bench. I love when they bolt across the water. So, we don't actually have one of those yet, but I was going to put it in here. So, electrical workbench, I'll pop back here and give it some lights. And then store all the electricals. And basically, I'll move the old electricals to be in here. So, we'll store up to 100. And that way, you know, and I'm also going to store my copper over here. Copper's just not something I'm going to be mining a lot around here. So all the copper that I have should be stored at electrical components. And then additionally, what I can do, because I'm storing all the copper here, is copper alloy bench can go here as well. So then I make the copper alloys where I store the copper. That makes sense. A fair amount of it. Alright, so there is a quote-unquote farming village. It's not. It's a cult. How do I feel about killing a bunch of weak little cultists? Not great, but they also have a Meito weapon, so it's not my fault. Hello, cultists. So this is the Moon Cult, and here is... I'm looking for Preacher, who is their leader. There's not much of a fight to be had here, so I am just going to let them run rampant. Preacher is a hiver, so I got to keep my eye out for him. He doesn't look all that different than the rest of his cultists. He's just going to have a very shiny weapon as a result. So I'm just looking for a dude with a shiny weapon. I know. I think he's a prince. I'm not certain about that. He probably is a hive prince. But it's going to be really easy to miss him because he doesn't look that much different than all the other cultists. And yeah, like, on some level, I'm just murdering a bunch of farmers. Oh, here he is. Preacher, and you're wanted by the Shek. Alright, let's go ahead and loot him. Because he has... Oops. You can keep your helmet. He has a Meito weapon. And then Silver Shade will pick him up. Alright, and then everyone but Silver Shade patch the Preacher up. The Preacher had diplomatic status. Yeah, you're probably wondering if there's anything worth stealing here. I can almost assure you there is not, but I'll check anyway. Just to be thorough. Poor little, you have some sake and some parchment. Yeah, I don't think there's really a point to rooting around. I don't believe that there's a chance for AI cores or anything of that nature here, but yeah. Rum and sake and yeah, okay. We move. Yavoy. Come on, Rain. How stuck are you? Are you like super glued? No, you can move. And that was Preacher. Yes, early game that would have been a little bit tougher to deal with, but Preacher is a massive joke to me now. Oh, how this game progresses. So the cult village, and I have him, and I'll turn him over to the Shek eventually. Oh, I see a little group of someone over here. More Reavers? Probably. Ah, grass pirates. This is like a tour of enemies. What village is that? That is just a fishing village, I believe. But where I'm heading next, we'll have to wait for next episode. So what I'll attempt to do next episode is to give a lot of my homesteaders proper tasks so that they're working productively again, because they haven't been for, you know, a good 5 episodes now. If you have any feedback or questions for me or adventures for me to go on, drop me a line. And tomorrow I will announce the location, or rather the name chosen for the outpost. So if you have yet to vote, go ahead on Rhadamant.com or the announcement section of Discord and cast your vote. And tomorrow I'll unveil the name for the new base. Thank you all for watching. Catch you later. Adios.